I found this treasure of I guess some lost media, now refound Heroes of Generals World War II mod DB page, which is crazy because all the links to the stuff that goes to Heroes of Generals is now gone, unfortunately. So the forums, all that type of stuff of the Heroes of Generals page. But ModDB is still going and is here, which is nuts because with all the recent projects, shouts out to like Beyond the Heroes, Company of Privates, Project V, which was something else, but then they kind of split to make a new one. And then there was another one that got like announced when H&G went down, but we have not heard from them since, so that's probably nothing, or hasn't been really doing anything, at least that we know of. And then not only that, so at least that's with people creating new projects and stuff, but then also you include just recently H&G be able to do a local server stuff, which is super sick. Be able to like technically play H&G the beta version like a local server. You just got to get on and like connect to a server, and then you'll be able to play it, which is really sick. Which is crazy because for this shows a huge history of Heroes in general. And how I found this was not searching up this, I was searching up something different, which I'll get into here in a little bit. This is actually really insane because this is like history of gaming, because this goes back all the way to 2012. I mean, this is, I think, the front page. Yeah, this is the front page. So if we go back to the fifth page, that's the oldest. This technically goes back all the way to October 10th, 2011, where they're Hitman veterans redefine the shooter genre again. Because if you didn't know, the first Hitman was created by, well, partly created because it wasn't the full team, but it was a good majority of Heroes in general. At least the original team here that was making this on the browser till, I think they went on Steam, then I think they lost a lot of their developers during that transition, unfortunately. So then if we go back over to the front, we see the last post is just them showing off the rubble that was like in the map, making it look good. But this is extra crazy because it's not just like, hey, here's Heroes of Generals, how to play the game, how to get into servers, and that's what they show here. But there are some sweet treats here. There is the longest war, War 64. They go in to talk about server infrastructure, how we manage more and more servers, the animations behind the scenes, some of their behind the scenes of where they're developing and that type of stuff, which is super sick. Server behind the scenes, stuff that you would not know, like never really find. It is here and still up, surprisingly, which is crazy because within each one of these, you see a bit of the history of what Heroes and Generals became. Heroes and Generals only got on Steam because they got greenlit through the Greenlit program, which is no more on Steam. We got like the symbols for the assault teams are here. Each one of these are filled with everything, the comments with who, because especially with how they documented stuff, you can see it was posted by Ken Solo, and then goes over a strategy sneak peek at the assault teams, which shows in the very old version of this, which like worked, which is crazy, and people were able to like use it, and just how much the map has changed. But then you get extra sweet treats right here, upcoming single player mission type. So not mission like campaign. This is going to be like, instead of you playing with other people, it's just solo, you do an interdiction, which they go in and they have these screenshots, which shows, and I think a video somewhere in here too, with like the videos of them going through to then strafe run the train to stop some of the resources or prevent some from going in. And this was a 10 km by 10 km map, like a huge one. And that's just only on page 1. We're on page 2 now. And then boom, the combat badges, Deadeye, which I would use all the time. Grenadier would use a good bit, and Flat Jacket. And the OG, how they made it, like this is some raw H&G stuff. There was a General Storms into close beta. And then the assault team insignia right here, which you could change. Apparently in this, you could change your assault team icon like that. Like where there's actually a thing here, an editor. Never made it to real stuff, which is crazy. I bet a lot of people would love that. I'm surprised I never made it in. That's like simple stuff. Countryside, oh, an OG map, which got changed so much. This OG map coming from like this state, but you could kind of see the resemblance to it. But like, look how big the maps were. And then also the object highlighting, that was all the way back in the early days, and they got inspired by Left 4 Dead to see certain mission objectives, which this was the objectives, not the weapons, but an objective that you would see. That was never a thing. Like you see that like highlighted. I don't know like what they mean by like a mission objective, like go here, destroy this thing. Like H&G, like not just H&G, but the whole idea of this first person and RTS like shooter concept. There's so much that they didn't even explore, even in their own specific game of Heroes in general, let alone everything else that's around that. It's a whole crazy golden and diamond and like emerald mine, like legitimately. And this is funny because it shows just how legitimately high level these guys were like going and thinking these ideas all the way back to December 8th, 2011 and implementing it on a browser via the Flash type of code and stuff. Like, dude, they're working with barbaric tools. They're like cavemen in the cave drawing with like a rock on a wall. You know, they're at that level of doing that stuff. Then crazy, then we get other like golden nuggets, incoming German mortar, boom, in-game graphics of that, which that's how they did that stuff, the previews. But it's funny because this was their last post and they never put that in, because they even had an intelligence board where they're like, yeah, we're doing this because the guy suggested this type of stuff. All these are single posts, but there's videos too that go with this as well, by the way. And it goes all the way to the Hitman veterans redefined the shooter genre again. But yeah, if we go over to videos, then you get all their videos that are archived on here as like MP4 videos. Look at this.
Yourself in a tight spot where just one more handgun would have made all the...
Well, this video, well, this is just like a highlight update, but this was like one of their last like big boy highlight updates.
difference.
When they did the pistols, all the way like OG stuff here, like look at this. Oh, there's a sound. Alpha video log 4.
Welcome to Heroes and Generals Alpha Video Log 4.
It's getting solo.
The game is currently in alpha stage, and the quality of the graphics and sound shown here is far from final and will improve over time.
RTS.
In this video, we'll show you some of the latest features and assets available in the latest alpha build, which you'll have access to if you've acquired an alpha key.
Factory. Oh man, I miss it.
I'll start by presenting one of the new maps.
Factory.
The factory map represents one
Look
of
how
the
different
factories
it
on
looks.
the campaign map. The factory
Well, different, but like same. Like they just refined it.
produce tank, airplane, or infantry resources to the faction who owns them.
And like you've got a map
The
here.
factory
Like really old school, and the sound, the explosions and everything. Which one? Yeah, this one? Yeah, this one. Which this was the video that I found, funny enough, that got me here, was them doing the new sounds on this type of map, which is so crazy. So crazy. Like this was like they're like the first video, one of their first videos, and they still have like there's still so much like video and material here. Like people getting in with the OG videos or OG like half track and everything, like super sick. It's crazy because I just like stumble upon this out of nowhere. Heroes and Generals Mod DB. I recommend if you guys are interested, go into it. It's just Heroes and Generals Mod DB whatnot. Or they let me down here because I was looking for some like I was just typing in Thompson, and funny enough, I got that Thompson video that's in here, which then made me find this old archive of everything. Yo, with everybody coming in and like putting in the whole work to fill the void of where Heroes and Generals was. Because again, there's so much of a gold mine of just like what could have been with just Heroes and Generals in the barbaric engine. But if we're talking about modern engine, like what would a modern Heroes and Generals look like? And that's something I'm very curious about. And I've always been kind of just messing with stuff. I've talked about it throughout Heroes of General streams, like, oh yeah, I've kind of done some like side little map stuff because I got so inspired off of like Heroes of Generals. I'd be like, yo, what would be a cool map? And decided to like do that type of stuff. And that's what I was doing here with the Thompson. I was like, okay, let me search up a Thompson thing, and it brought up this, which is so wild. But that's also kind of leads me to, I guess, the last thing I kind of want to talk about here, because this kind of inspired us a little bit to go over and get some stuff, well, kind of going. But not really. It really just depends, though, because it could be, like, really nothing, or it could really develop into a lot of stuff. And I think that's what everybody's kind of doing, especially, like, Company of Privates, where everybody's just like, well, we're just kind of messing around, fiddling with this. If this does actually become a thing, it could become a thing, like a game or not, or like a Heroes and Generals type of game, because certain projects want to remake Heroes and Generals. Other projects are taking like first person and RTS route. Here at I'm Gaming, we are taking the FPS and RTS type of route with that type of ideal of like what we've been kind of fiddling with, because with some stuff, it is a little classified right now, but there is something, you know, looping in the works. There's some blueprints. Looks like there's some blueprints there already kind of made but that could just all kind of just fizzle away. That's something that here at I Am Gaming we're just kind of messing around with. That is like a modernized version of a first-person RTS shooter, not a Heroes of General's exact one-to-one remake, because that's not what we'll be doing there with Project Valor. Here at I'm Gaming, I don't think we're going to be the last project to kind of be announced, be like, hey, some people are trying this, some people are trying that, some people are probably going to remake Heroes and Generals in Fortnite, Unreal Engine Fortnite version, which is probably way easier than everything right now. Like, no joke, especially they just went and did a first-person thing, so you can 100% get a game mode super easy on that. This is something I kind of wanted to share. This is something I want to kind of talk about a little bit of like, yo, what a crazy find of everything. And not just that, but just the whole situation of people are everywhere from like, oh, every just bit of the Heroes of Generals community coming out and trying to revitalize the empty void of a first-person and RTS game. And I'm super excited for all those projects because there's so much here. Again, there's like, everybody's probably doing like a World War II type of thing, but like think about a modernized version. Think about everything, right? So like there's so much, and everybody who wants that game that are coming from the Heroes of Generals genre, I think are going to be the best people to then tackle this type of genre of a first-person RTS game, whatever that is going to look like. Because there's going to be so many different variations of an RTS, of the FPS. You can even say Hell Let Loose right now is a first-person RTS Heroes of Generals game, but it doesn't have the extra bits of the RTS, and if it did, it'd probably be different. You can even say Battlefield 1 with the grand operations, right? Of you can go from like one part to the next part, you got some type of stuff that changes, the resources are really the behemoths and stuff like that, but it's got that same type of first-person RTS genre. And there's only like a few different games like that right now. We're going to see the heyday of a lot more open warfare games, I'm telling you. And it's not just going to be us here at I Am Gaming, it's also going to be everywhere else as well.